Alright, it is very late in Balmora, but she has some new morning lark energy. This is essentially something she probably won't be able to hold on to as a buff. The Sun's Dust mod keeps track of when you sleep. And if you sleep primarily at night and are awake during the day, it'll give you this buff. I think there's also a night owl buff. Look at the beautiful clouds and the amazing weather. So, she's gonna go check in with Caius Casades very reluctantly.
Is there something I can...
She's sure it's gonna be bad. But she's afraid if she does not check in, she's going to be caught breaking and entering because she might be being trailed. She's going to appear to be at least partially obedient on the surface.
Speak freely, friend. What? Yes, I'm Caius Casades. But what do you mean you were told to report to Caius Casades? What are you talking about? So you've been told to report to me and deliver a package. Perhaps you'll let me look at it. Yes, very interesting. So it says here the Emperor wants me to make you a novice in the Blades. And that means you'll be following my orders. Are you ready to follow my orders?
Yes?
Good. Welcome to the service, novice. Now you belong to the Blades. We're the Emperor's eyes and ears in the provinces. You can use my bed if you need to rest, but leave my personal stuff alone unless I say otherwise. If you like, you can improve your modest skills with our Blades trainers now. Or if you're in a hurry, I can give you orders right away. But don't forget to visit the Blades trainers.
The Astrologians Guild is a smaller guild of eager explorers searching for lost Dwemer knowledge. They have a camp towards the top of Arkingthand. These Blades trainer agents offer training, not free of course, but cheap for a fellow agent. Look for Ruthlin, Terramalin, and Ninetoes here in Balmora. In Caldera, see Serain Liran. In Aldrune, see Gildan. Siorgor Horsemouth lives in the hut west of Aldrune, and Alone the Scout can be found in Aril's trade house in Sedanin. I also know of a few Blades trainers on the mainland if you ever find yourself there. Idra Overland lives in Firewatch. You can find Aquilinius in the Ebon Tower in Old Ebonheart. Andura has a house in Balfoyan. There may be other agents working on the mainland, but these are all you need to know about right now. Warrior Aquilinius can be found in the Ebon Tower in Old Ebonheart, southeast of Vivec. His post is in the palace's high chambers.
We're spies. We're the Emperor's hidden eyes and ears in the provinces. We watch the Emperor's enemies. We look for opportunities. We make reports. And when the Emperor commands, we obey. But we're only one of many guilds and factions in Morrowind. You should know a little about Morrowind politics before you get involved with any of these other groups. I'm the Imperial Spy Master for Morrowind. And since I'm the ranking Blades agent in Morrowind, you report to me. You follow orders and we'll get along fine.
Agent Dora lives in Balfoyan, the main port of House Thlalu on the Inner Sea, southwest of Vivec. Her house is in the west side of town.
Elone the Scout can usually be found at Aril's trade house in Sedanin. You know where that is. You arrived in Sedanin by boat. Moonmoth Fort is the Imperial Legion garrison southeast of Balmora, just outside of town. Rad Hardheart is the knight in charge. Between the Imperial Legions and Imperial Cult staff, they have about a dozen service providers out there. Nightblade Gildan lives in Aldrun, the Wherin district seat north of here, beyond Caldera. Gildan is in the southeast corner of town, in a house to the right of the steps up to the temple. Groups favoring Imperial interests are the Blades, the Imperial Cult, the Imperial Legion, the Fighters Guild, the Mages Guild, and the Thieves Guild. Groups favoring native Dunmer interests are House Wherin, House Hlalu, and House Telvanni, the Temple, the Morag Tong, the Kimona Tong, and the Ashlanders. I don't know much about the Ashlanders. Most people say they are murderous savages, but most people are idiots. I know they hate their settled Dunmer cousins almost as much as they hate Westerners. They must be tough to live in the Ashlands. I don't think Outlanders can become members of the tribes. I don't know why anyone would want to. The Kimona Tong is Morrowind's native criminal syndicate. They're tough and ruthless, and have connections in the higher ranks of House Hlalu. The Kimona Tong competes directly with the Thieves Guild for control of illegal trade, and Kimona Tong will not tolerate competition. Compared with the Kimona Tong, the Thieves Guild is relatively decent and honorable, certainly less brutal. They don't accept outlanders as members. Forget about it. The Fighters Guild is a professional organization chartered by the Emperor to regulate the hiring and training of mercenaries. Training, goods, and services are cheaper for members, and the guild's stewards know where to find work. You'll have to start your service with Idis Fireeye, the Balmora Guild steward. She's new, and I don't know her well. Perseus Mercius, the Aldrun Guild steward, I know and trust, but he only handles higher-ranking assignments. House Hlalu is one of the 3 Dunmer great houses on Vardenfell. They're loyal supporters of the Empire, open-minded in religious and cultural matters, and greedy and ambitious in the best imperial tradition. It's difficult to rise in their ranks as an outlander, but the great houses hold the power in Morrowind. Talk to Hlalu counselors if you want to become a Hlalu retainer. House Wherin is one of the 3 Dunmer great houses on Vardenfell, a very serious and honorable bunch. It's difficult for an outlander to join and rise in their ranks, but the great houses are where the power lies in Morrowind. Talk to Wherin counselors if you want to become a Wherin retainer. House Telvanni is one of the 3 Dunmer great houses on Vardenfell. Their nobles are 1,000-year-old wizards. Telvanni are supposed to hate politics, foreigners, and just about everything else, but the Vardenfell Telvanni are apparently more ambitious and adventurous than most. I don't know much about them, but they do hire Western mercenaries, and some even rise to higher ranks. Talk to Telvanni counselors if you want to become a Telvanni retainer.
Scout Idra Uvalen lives in her house in Firewatch. That's across the Inner Sea to the northeast. Near the... yeah, the whistles are loud. That's across the Inner Sea to the northeast, near the tip of the Telvanni Peninsula. Her house is in Uriel's Quarter, in the south part of the city.
The Imperial cult worships the 9 divines. The Aedra Akatosh, Dibella, Arche, Zenithar, Mara, Stendar, Kinnereth, and Julianos, and Tiber Septim, founder and patron of the Empire. In Morrowind, it's partly maintaining the faith for outlanders like us, and partly a missionary cult, bringing enlightenment to the heathen Dunmer. You can see Somutus Vunis at Fort Moonmoth to join, but you have to go to Ebonheart if you want to become a lay servant.
The Imperial Legion has several fort garrisoned here in Vardenfell. The lowest ranks handle law enforcement, escorts, rescues, dangerous predators, diseased and blighted beasts, and so forth. Only one fort accepts recruits, Fort Darius in Nisus. Nisus is a frontier outpost, isolated, a little rough, but good experience. If you're interested, see General Darius in Nisus. If you're looking for a safer posting, you should seek out Old Ebonheart on the mainland. In Old Ebonheart and Firewatch, the other major colonist city on the mainland, the Legion acts as a local guard force, settling disputes, guard duty, and so forth. As I said, a safer posting. Old Ebonheart's a boat ride south of Vivec.
Lay servants serve the Imperial cult by doing various tasks. Not a lot of excitement, but safe, honorable, and rewarding. First, you have to join the Imperial cult, then go to the Imperial chapels in Ebonheart to get work. See Sinolian Tunifus to become a lay healer. See Eulus Trupter to become an almoner, a fundraiser. See Kay to become a shrine sergeant. They do the more dangerous jobs. How do you judge a job's difficulty? Consider 3 things: location, opposition, and payoff. Long walks into the wilderness are usually tougher than local or town tasks. Tough opponents make tough jobs. Daedra, vampires, rogue Telvanni, you'll learn which ones to look out for. And finally, if the reward offered is large, the dangers will be large too. It's a guild for the arcane arts, and it's where you go to find wizards for hire. Training, goods, and services are cheaper for members, and the guild stewards know where to find work. If you want to be a wizard, join and work your way up the ranks. The Mages Guild here is a better bet than the Fighters Guild. Ranis Athras is the guild steward, so talk to her if you want to join up. She's got a chip on her shoulder, but her apprentice, Ajira, seems okay for a Khajiit. The Morag Tong is a guild of executioners and assassins, completely legal, and guided by a strict code of conduct. It's an ancient Dunmer society, steeped in tradition. But I know and respect a few Westerners who belong to the Morag Tong. They are nothing like the Dark Brotherhood. I have no idea how to join them. To get to Hunter Ninetoes, leave my door facing south. Go right, down the steps, then turn left and head south, looking for his door on your left. First thing, Pilgrim, You're new, and you look it. Here's 200 drakes. Go get yourself a decent weapon, or armor, or a spell. And second thing, you need a cover identity. Around here, freelance adventurer is a common profession. Sign on with the Fighters Guild, or Mages Guild, or Imperial Cult, or Imperial Legion. Advance in the ranks, gain skill and experience, or go out on your own. Look for freelance work or trouble. Then when you're ready, come back, and I'll have orders for you. Ready for orders? Good. Go talk to Haspat Antabolus at the Balmorra Fighters Guild. Ask him what he knows about the Nerevarine secret cult and the Sixth House secret cult. You'll have to do him a favor first. Probably an ugly favor. But do it. Then get the information from Antabolus and report back to me. By the way, Haspat is a student of Morrowind history. Take the chance to get a little education. And I have a few history books in here. Help yourself. You're welcome to them. No point in being part of history if you're too ignorant to understand it. You can always just wander around and ask for work. Hunt monsters and sell their hides, collect ingredients for alchemists, prey on bandits and smugglers, search ruins for loot. All you need are better skills and conditioning, and knowledge of Morrowind. And spend what you earn on equipment and training. Then come back a little less wet behind the ears, and I won't have to worry so much about you when I send you out on a mission. He's drill master of the Balmorra Fighters Guild. He's lived in Morrowind all his life, knows the natives, and talks a lot with backcountry mercenaries. He thinks of himself as a scholar, and he's particularly interested in Dwemer ruins and artifacts. Jeanette Sitta's little book is a good place to start. I have a copy here, take it. You might also look for On Morrowind, the Imperial Province, by Eramanwe of Sunhold. As I said, Jeanette Sitta's little book is a good place to start. And I also recommend On Morrowind, the Imperial Province, by Eramanwe of Sunhold. Some Dunmer believe that an orphan and outcast, a youth born on a certain day to uncertain parents, will one day unite all the tribes of the Dunmer, drive out the invaders of Morrowind, and re-establish the ancient laws and customs of the Dark Elven nations. They call this orphan and outcast the Nerevarine, and say the Nerevarine will be a reincarnation of the long-dead Dunmer general and first counselor, Lord Indoril Nerevar. Get the information about the Nerevarine secret cult and the Sixth House secret cult from Haspat Antabolus, like I told you. Warrior Rithlin lives 2 houses south, upstairs. We have our own blades trainers, of course, and there are many public services available in Balmorra. Members get better prices from guild services. The Balmorra Fighters Guild and Balmorra Mages Guild are across the river. You'll find contacts for the Balmorra Thieves Guild in the south wall up the street. And there's an Imperial cult shrine at nearby Moonmoth Legion Fort. A trusted informant says they're a secret cult associated with some strange events recently, and, more important, my informant thinks these recent disturbances are related in some way to the Nerevarine prophecies. The illiterate Ashlanders pass down their customs and history in the form of poetic verses. Among the things they preserve in verse are the dreams and prophetic visions of their wise women, in particular the verses that foretell the coming of the Nerevarine. But I don't know much about it. That's why I'm sending you to find out. Master-at-Arms Fjorvar Horsemouth lives in a Gwar herder's hut in the middle of nowhere west of Caldera. I've only been there once and couldn't give you directions. Go look for him if you feel like a little hike. That's the temple name for being crazy. The Dunmer are humorless bastards. They don't like strange behavior. It makes them nervous. Eccentric isn't charming to them, it's dangerous. The natives are very tight-cheeked, and you will be too, if you want to avoid unwanted attention. Mage Suran Liorian is in Caldera, the next town north. Her half-timber and stone house sits between the twin towers of the North Gate and the Governor's Hall. The Tribunal Temple is the native religion. They worship 3 god-kings, Almalexia, Sothasil, and Vivek, who are known together as the Tribunal. We usually just call it the Temple. They're narrow-minded and superstitious, but I find a lot to admire, particularly their concern for the poor. They accept Outlanders as members, but few Outlanders join except for the services. Talk to Feldrello Sadri at the Balmorra Temple if you're thinking about joining. In the rest of the Empire, the Thieves Guild is a more or less organized group of local criminal syndicates governing illegal trade in their communities. Here in Morrowind, the Thieves Guild is the newcomer. The established local crime lords are called the Kimona Tong. The Thieves Guild doesn't advertise, partly to avoid the law, and partly to avoid the Kimona Tong, who have sworn to destroy the upstart Thieves Guild. Sugar Lips Habasi, over at the south wall, is the local guild boss. Healer Tiermelon lives 2 houses south downstairs.
Okay, that wasn't so bad. She's cautiously optimistic. She was sold. He really had her when he said most people are idiots. She's okay with that. In general, seems all right to her. So, and anybody offering her books, she will definitely take. She would never sleep here. So his cover is as a skooma addict. So you see the good skooma pipe. This is funny. It's a plain music box added by a mod. It's not marked as steal, but if you actually steal it, he will immediately try to kill you, which is rude. I'm just a music lover. Alright. So, she feels cautiously optimistic about not being hunted down. He told her to go out and live her life. And she's gonna do that.
What do you think of Balmora?
So she's going to actually actively avoid and put off the main quest, which is his quest line, for a good long while, really. Right now, we're going to go do some serious cheating. And I am going to collect a few items that you only know about if you've been watching YouTube videos or playing the game yourself extensively and you realize you can do this first thing. So up here is where I will be getting my Daedric bow. There are actually 2 places that you can get a Daedric bow without much risk. For this one, you need to be able to pick locks or open doors, and for the other one, you need levitate. One of them is in a high tower in a shrine to Sheogorath, and there's just a Daedric bow lying on the ground if you know where to get it, but I'm going to do this because it's going to take me to Vivec, and I want to go to Vivec anyway, whereas I have no real reason to visit a Daedric shrine. So here is an egg mine. We'll be back here pretty soon. I'm going to be able to clear a lot of the content around here fairly soon, because as soon as I get my Daedric bow, I am set for the rest of the game, and then most of my equipment from that point on is going to be using mods to put constant effect items on my gear. So I'm not going to be changing my gear too much. I'll just be upgrading them slowly. So you come across the bridge from that egg mine, and you discover the location of this place. The Vasir Didenet Cave. I dislike the hitboxes on these little dudes. Actually, it says I'm hitting them. My reticle says I'm hitting them, but I am not. Okay. Oh, right. I need to turn back on my quick loot. Okay, just checking that my setup saved my settings from my last session. Because you have to get Mod Organizer to speak to OpenMW, and sometimes they don't like each other. And they don't want to talk. Okay. Yeah, that's the technical name for it. They don't like each other. Not that I'm doing it wrong. I never do things wrong. Alright. So all you have to do is go into this cave. While I am outside, I'm gonna punch a tree. I need a little bit more in the way of... I'm gonna grab some more herbs. Heather makes me happy. That's more tea. Lots of flowers. I'm gonna halberd or punch a tree, get a little bit more firewood so I have torches for when I need them. Okay, here's a little tree I should be able to punch to death very quickly. I don't want to use my arrows because... I suppose I could use my magical sword. Alright, it's still going to tell me I have the wrong tool. But it'll be faster than punching it. Okay. Cork bulb. Okay, this makes herbalists happy. Alright. Now, I don't know how to bring up the actual crafting menu, but it shows up if you use another tool. Crafting UI. I have enough firewood to make a torch now. Alright, and now I have a hotkey to bring up a torch whenever I need it. Alright, all you really need to do is find and walk into this cave. I don't recommend going more deeply in because there is a fire Atronach in there that at level 1, which I am, will beat the crap out of you. Also, it's very dark without a light source. So, all we did was discover it. That's all we need to do. I am going to fast travel back to the Siltstrider where I can go to Vivek. I'll pick up a few things in Vivek. There's one more cheaty spot. I'm going to go to Tel Fyr and pick up an armor piece, a shield piece, and a weapon. And then we should be good to go.
Where would you like to go?
Good day, stranger. Welcome to Balmora, council seat of House Hlalu. I'm your local caravaner, and I hope I can find you Siltstrider travel to your destination. Or if you are new to Balmora, can I help you with local services? Do you need someone in particular, or is there a specific place in Balmora I can help you find?
We're going to Vivek. Vivek is the main city. I have it heavily modded, so it's gonna have a little bit of lag. No matter what you do, Vivek is going to be janky. It either looks like a mud hut, a featureless mud hut, or you start putting in vendors and flowers and such, and it will lag you. Okay. Weather's cleared. Vivek looks beautiful. Okay, so I can levitate. I'm going to enjoy that. I need to go to St. Ohm's Plaza, which is, I believe, here. Yeah. So I'm going to fly there rather than fast travel and take a brief tour from the air of Vivek, because she's heard about this city. And, Vivek delivers. Look at that. That's the meteor that she read about. That's hovering over the High Fane. The temple in the far distance with the green fire. And revolving planetary bodies over the flame. She read about this in Pilgrim's Path. And the temple kind of fascinates her. As an Ashlander, she doesn't find the temple profane, particularly because she appreciates the focus on service. She wants to see if she can help people with this. It's possible, isn't it? Maybe? Alright. St. Ohm's Plaza. No, this is St. Dellen. Sorry. Ohm's is over here. But that's amazing. A little starstruck here. Godstruck, really. She knew that the ghost snake was real. And she knows that the gods here, the tribunal, they're real. This is real. Okay, so I'm looking for the Haunted Manor. Haunted Manor is over here. Look at all the flowers. And of course, if she tries to pick them, she'll be murderized. That's a little sad, but she understands. The glass, and the sky. Okay, she's a little starstruck here. This is amazing. She is grateful. No, I went in the wrong place. Okay, we're going to the Haunted Manor. This is where you need to be able to pick locks. She's got the power, but at this point, she's also got, the cheat lockpick. Isn't this fun? Okay. If you go talk to this gentleman, you will essentially be trading the location for that mine. Sometimes I try to talk to them, and I grab a mushroom, so I'm going to save just in case. Because you can be clicking on a person, and then all of a sudden they move, and you're clicking on something behind them, and now you're dead. And I don't want to do that, so...
I take precautions to ensure that I am not found easily. I see I will have to take more precautions. But what can I do for you? The mine of Vasir Didanat has been lost for many years. Would you perhaps know the location of this mine? So, That is technically not in my jurisdiction, but I can still make use of this knowledge. I feel you deserve some compensation. What type of weapon do you use? I like to keep a distance from my enemies as well. Please take this Daedric longbow with my gratitude.
Okay, so there is now a magical weapon, which is her most prized possession. And it's beautiful. Look at that. Okay, we have a happy, happy woman. I'm going to keep 40 revolving saves. This is a little precarious in a recorded run-through because it means within a few, within a couple of run-throughs, I'm not going to be able to go back to a prior save game. You can only have 100 in this game, which may seem like a lot, but it's not for, like, a game that's going to eventually be about 1,000 hours. Not even counting the stuff you're reading. Look at the art. Beautiful. Okay, she loves this. This is amazing. It would be amazing to live here. It's so quiet and sedate and serene. She likes Vivek. And as an extension, the temple. Because they created this, and so did a living god in Vivek. So, I mean, he's right there. He's inside that green glowing building. Now she's gonna have some lunch here. And dream. This is amazing. Alright, deep breath.
Go on about your business.
Alright, we are in Vivek. Vivek is extremely confusing. I don't remember where everybody is. I'm going to use my magical ring because technically, by my rules, I have traveled to Vivek. I'm gonna go to Jabasha's rare books. Because why wouldn't she go to a bookstore? Okay, and there's a mod here, and it's kind of adorable and kind of ridiculous, and I love it. But here's where my
book today?
3 blessings to you, Outlander.
What do you want? How do you like it here? Jobasha reads books, buys books, sells books. What more can Jobasha say? Jobasha knows a little about everything. So you ask, and maybe Jobasha will talk.
All right.
What words do you have for me, citizen?
There you are, baby. Hello. Look, it's Luz'Sivarr. So, I have played a lot of Elder Scrolls Online. I mean, a lot. And, they have Alfiq, a lot more Alfiq in that game than in any other game. So I am certain this has borrowed from ESO. I have played with a lot of companions in this game. And unfortunately, they're not really, how do I put this? They're very janky. The original game
What words do you have for me,
does not
citizen?
really support followers, so I've tried Strider's Nest, which bugs out. I've tried Julan, which not only bugs out, but doesn't play well with my other mods. And those followers tend to get lost, die, fall into lava, stop talking, lock up quests. So Julan can potentially bug out your entire main quest. And I did not appreciate that, so I had to remove him from my mod list. I really did enjoy the writing of the Julan mod, but I could not get it to work without him constantly getting lost. Or hijacking my game, which is even less fun. This I have found to be the least intrusive. So, as an archer, I am prone to shoot people in the back all the time. And This kitty is very short, so I can't, unless I have really bad aim, I can't shoot. I'm going to call them, and sometimes I call her. There is no assigned gender. It's Luz'Sivarr, but it's misspelled, and who knows? She does not have a voice, but I think of her as a she. So, with all of my experimentation, this is really about the only companion that I can tolerate for an full game. Hello, baby. Have we met with Sarah? What can Luz'Sivarr do for you? Luz'Sivarr is this one's name. It means I am light in Ta'agra, the native tongue of the Khajiit. Luz'Sivarr may look like a cat, but this one is an Alfiq stock. We're a lot more intelligent than the average Khajiit, though a lot less social to other races. Luz'Sivarr has a vested interest in the affairs of others, however, and of gathering knowledge across the continent. This one would be happy to accompany you across the island in search of such knowledge, should you choose, of course. I choose! Very good with Sarah, let us make haste. Oh, and take these. Should Luz'Sivarr ever get separated from you, use either of these to call me back, and I'll come running. So, I am light is, yes, Luz'Sivarr means Lightbringer. So, Luz'Sivarr has given me Canarthian coffee and Palatinian chocolate, which are adorable roleplay summon items. Okay, so this is the only follower mod that I have found that really doesn't bug out. Luz'Sivarr follows me everywhere, never gets lost, doesn't screw up my quests, doesn't mess up my scripting, and I love them. And this means I'm petting them because, love them. Alright. Alright, so we have our beautiful Daedric bow. And the next thing I need to do is to figure out transport to... Alright, Sadrith Mora is about as close to Tel Fyr as I'm going to get. So I'm going to fast travel to the Solstheim and see if I can... Oh, I don't even remember where the Solstheim is. Okay, I arrived in Vivek, so it must be somewhere here. Gorstable Shack. I'll try there, and then I'll look for Solstheim. I'm going to go to Sadrith Mora. I might need to hop a few Solstheim before I can get there. And then I'm going to levitate to Tel Fyr. And in Tel Fyr Tower, there we go, are a few items that I can pick up early game without any risk.
Why walk when you can ride? This is the Siltstrider port for the city of Vivek, Outlander. I'm a caravaner and I manage the Siltstrider port here. Tell me your destination if you're looking for a ride. Or if you're new to Vivek, I can help you with local services, or any specific place in Vivek you're looking for. Or if you want someone in particular, maybe I know where to look.
Okay, Suran is further west. I need to go west. So I'm going to go there. I'm going to start skipping when the Caravaneers speak to me because it's all the same script. I'm going to skip it. May seem rude. But it will probably save me 10 hours in the end run with this. Have to walk places myself rule. Alright, let's see if Suran gets me any closer.
Why walk when you can ride? This is the Siltstrider port for the town of Suran,
Outlander,
in the Ascadian Isles region. I'm a caravaner, and I manage the Siltstrider port here.
Let's see if Molag Mar gets me further west. East, excuse me, east. I'm trying to travel east. I don't know, I might have just gone all the way west again. We'll see. I don't really know the caravan routes terribly well because I fast travel. Or just levitate and run. I am in Molag Mar. Okay, so I am traveling further east and getting closer. Let's see if this one takes me to Sadrith Mora.
Well, this is the village of Molag Mar Outlander in the Molag
No, Suran and Vivek. Alright, I am going to have to fly.
Tell me your destination if you're looking
I might have been able to take a boat from Vivek.
I can help you with local services.
Let's see. Let's listen to a book along the way. This is gonna be a while. Let us listen to a short history of Morrowind.
From the introduction, led by the legendary prophet Veloth, the ancestors of the Dunmer, exiles from Altmer cultures in present-day Somerset Isle, came to the region of Morrowind. In earliest times, the Dunmer were harassed or dominated by Nord Sea raiders. When the scattered Dunmer tribes consolidated into the predecessors of the modern Great House clans, they threw out the Nord oppressors and successfully resisted further incursions. The ancient ancestor worship of the tribes was in time superseded by the monolithic tribunal temple theocracy, and the Dunmer grew into a great nation called Resdayn. Resdayn was the last of the provinces to submit to Tiber Septim. Like Black Marsh, it was never successfully invaded, and was peacefully incorporated by treaty into the empire as the province of Morrowind. Almost 4 centuries after the coming of the Imperial legions, Morrowind is still occupied by Imperial legions, with a figurehead Imperial king, though the Empire has reserved most functions of the traditional local government to the ruling councils of the 5 great houses on Vvardenfell district. In 3E414, Vvardenfell territory, previously a temple preserved under Imperial protection and Ordinator laws, was reorganized as an Imperial provincial district. Vvardenfell had been maintained as a preserve administrated by the temple since the Treaty of the Armistice, and except for a few great house settlements sanctioned by the temple, Vvardenfell was previously uninhabited and undeveloped. But when the centuries-old temple ban on trade and settlement of Vvardenfell was revoked by King of Morrowind, a flood of Imperial colonists and Great House Dunmer came to Vvardenfell, expanding old settlements and building new ones. The new district was divided into Wherin, Hlalu, Telvanni, and Temple districts, each separately administered by local house councils or temple priesthoods, and all under the advice and consent of Duke Dren and the district council in Ebonheart. Local law became a mixture of house law and imperial law in house districts, jointly enforced by house guards and legion guards, and temple law and imperial law enforced in the temple district by ordinators. The temple was still recognized as the majority religion, but
this is of course terrifying to her, but amazing. She can fall to her doom within a minute of her intellectual capacity. She loves this. This is awesome.
9 divines was protected by the legions and encouraged by imperial cult missions. The temple district included the city of Vivek City, the fortress of Ghostgate, and all sacred and profane sites, including those blighted areas inside the Ghost Fence, and all unsettled and wilderness areas on Vvardenfell. In practice, this district included all parts of Vvardenfell not claimed for Redoran, Hlalu, or Telvanni districts. The temples stubbornly fought all development in their district and were largely successful. House Hlalu, in combination with imperial colonists, embarked on a vigorous campaign of settlement and development. In the decades after reorganization, Balmora and the Ascanian Isles regions have grown steadily. Caldera and Pelagiad are completely new settlements, and all legion forts were expanded to accommodate larger garrisons. House Telvanni, normally conservative and isolationist, has been surprisingly aggressive in expanding beyond their traditional tower villages. Disregarding the protests of the other houses, the temple, the duke, and the district council, Telvanni pioneers have been encroaching on the wild lands reserved to the temple. The Telvanni Council officially disavows responsibility for these rogue Telvanni settlements, but it is an open secret that they are encouraged and supported by ambitious Telvanni mage lords. Under pressure from the temple, conservative House Wherin has steadfastly resisted expansion in their district. As a result, House Wherin and the temple are in danger of being politically and economically marginalized by the more aggressive and expansionist Shlalu and Telvanni interests. The imperial administration faces many challenges in the Vardenfell district, but the most serious are the great house rivalries, animosity from the Ashlanders nomads, internal conflicts within the temple itself, and the Red Mountain Blight. Struggles between Great House, Temple and Imperial interests to control Vardenfell's resource could at any time erupt into full-scale war. Ashlanders raid settlements, plunder caravans and kill foreigners on their wild lands. The Temple has unsuccessfully attempted to silence criticism and calls for reform within its ranks. But most serious are the plagues and diseased hosts produced by the blight storms sweeping out from Red Mountain. Vardenfell and all Morrowind have long been menaced by the legendary evils of Daedric and his ash vampire kin dwelling beneath Red Mountain. For centuries the temple has contained this threat within the Ghost Lands, but recently the temple's resources have grown faltered, and the threat from Red Mountain has grown in scale and intensity. If the Ghost Fence should fail, and hosts of blighted monsters were to spill out across Vardenfell's towns and villages, the Empire might have no choice but to evacuate Vardenfell district and abandon it to disease and corruption.
Okay, so good to know. She's learning that the Empire's and the grip on Vardenfell here is not as strong as advertised. She's slightly less afraid of Caius Casades right now, and slightly more afraid of Deceit. Alright, this is Brief History of the Empire Part 3. I should save these to tell them in order.
Nothing is more revolting to Dunmer feeling than the sorry spectacle of another Dunmer enslaved by that derivative moon sugar known as skooma. And nothing is less appetizing than listening to the pathetic tales of humiliation and degradation associated with
That's
a victim
scary.
of this addictive drug.
She's never seen one.
Why then do I force myself upon you with this
It's
extended
coming right at
and
me.
detailed account of my sins and sorrows? Because I hope that by telling my tale,
She's
the
okay
hope of
with trying
redemption
out her
from
new
this
bow.
sorry state shall be
Yeah, okay,
widely
so
known.
my mod is
And
making
because
that
I hope that others who have also fallen
less
into the
aggressive,
sorry state of
which
skooma
is good.
addiction may therefore hear
So
of my
only
story,
4 out of
of how I
5
fell into
cliff
despair,
raisers are gonna
and how I once again found myself
kill
and
me.
freed myself from my own self-imposed chains. Because it is widely known to all Khajiit who may be expected to know that there is no cure for addiction to skooma, that once a slave to skooma, always a slave to skooma. Because this is widely known, it is taken to be true. But it is not true, and I am living proof. There is no miracle cure, there is no potion to be taken, there is no magical incantation which frees you from the thrill of skooma running through your blood. But it is through the understanding of that thrill and the acceptance of the lust within oneself for that thrill and the casting aside of the shame that the thrill-seeker feels when he cannot set aside what becomes in the end his only comfort and pleasure. It is through this knowledge and understanding that the victim comes to the place where choices may be made, where despair and hope may be separated. In short, only knowledge and acceptance can deliver into the slave's hands the key that opens his shackles and sets him free. The narrative of Tilsasendus' tale carries the reader through the stages of early infatuation, ecstatic obsession, and profound degradation of her addiction. and in the course of the story, she subtly enables the reader to discover that the hopelessness of the addict comes from the addict's own unconscious assumption that only a helpless and foolish person could become addicted to skooma, and that, consequently, no such helpless and foolish person could ever achieve the admittedly difficult task of renouncing, once tasted, the exquisite delights of the skooma. Tilsa Senders shows that once the addict overcomes the burden of her own self-despising, that there is the possibility of redemption. And against all of society's dearly held beliefs, she says that it is not altogether clear that the addict should renounce the sugar, but that it is only one of the choices that the skooma addict must make. Tilsa Senders's casual proposition that skooma addiction is not necessarily a sign of moral and personal weakness is essential to her thesis that a cure is possible, but it has not endeared her or her book to the upright and conservative elements of Dunmer society.
Okay. Now the quest will guide you toward Tel Fyr later on in your existence. But right now we're going to go in, and weirdly, several extraordinarily powerful items are not marked as theft. So you can't pick a mushroom in here. But you can take items that are worth 100k, if you can get to them. And since I'm cheaty, but in reality, well, it's all cheaty because I'm using a mod to give me this lock-picking ability. So if you come in here, the chest is locked and trapped. Might take a while. But it's worth it. Alright. I'm gonna have a little lunch, because that might affect my capacity. I'm a little tired after flying across the country, but this is amazing. It's amazing. Okay, lock too complex, but I have a cheater lockpick. Cuirass of the Savior's Hide. So if you take a look at this, I will be wearing this forever. Cuirass of the Savior's Hide, light armor, constant effect of resist magicka 60%. Yes! Yes, we're doing that. We're doing that now. Okay. So you can't actually, you can read the books, but you can't take the books, or the herbs don't steal anything else. I'm sure I could steal because nobody's really going to see, but I'm only going to show you the things that are just marked. So here's Daedric Fyr.
What do you want?
And I don't even need to talk to him, and I'm not going to. I'm just going to take his stuff. Okay, so we have the Savior's Hide. Here is the Daedric Scourge. There should be a Daedric shield in there, but I don't see it. I will be coming across the Daedric shield along the way. And I so very rarely use melee weapons. Oop, not shaders. That I'm okay with it. Alright. Daedric Scourge will be my weapon if I get in trouble. I'll probably come up across... I know there are a couple of places in the game where I can get a Daedric shield. Right now it's not as important as other things. So those are my first cheaty stops, pretty much done. Go back outside to Onyx Hall. Since I'm so close to Sadrith Mora right now, I'm going to fly over there. let's just say she knew she had to get to Cedric Mora, you know, realizing after the fact she probably would have taken a guild teleporter this way. But still, she doesn't have, I mean, she's going to save her money. It's kind of expensive. Alright, let's see if there's another book. I believe I just read that. Forgive me if I forget which books I have or have not read. It's not that it's a short-term memory thing. It's that I have read some of these books aloud myself in Skyrim and in test runs that I don't remember if it was 2 days ago, 2 weeks ago, 4 years ago, 3 months ago, which run through which character, so please forgive me if I'm missing some stuff. If I miss a book and skip over it because I was like, oh, I just read that, but I didn't, there are any number of people who read these books online, including me. Okay.
The Ebonheart Belly. Magical breakthrough imminent. Our city's community of magical practitioners is abuzz with speculation after Tar Heel, the court wizard of Ebonheart, was seen excitedly running up the castle stairs carrying a large stack of enchanted scrolls. This follows an extended...
Tar Heel is the person we met on the road who killed themselves by trying to jump.
...period of time during which the Argonian had secluded himself in his chambers, supposedly working on a grand experiment. Tel Fyr, a local enchanter who alerted us to this story, had this to say. Tar Heel's ideas are sometimes a little over the top, but I hope this discovery of his will jumpstart a new era of magical research and help our city's glory reach new heights.
Akavir means Dragonland, Tamriel means Dawn's Beauty, and Mora means Elder Wood. Only the Red Guards know what Yakuda meant. Akavir is the kingdom of the beasts. No men or mer live in Akavir. Men once did. These men, however, were eaten long ago by the vampiric serpent folk of Tsayeshi. Had they not been eaten, these men would have eventually migrated to Tamriel. The Nords left Atmora for Tamriel. Before them, the elves had abandoned Aldmeris for Tamriel. The Red Guards destroyed Yakuda so they could make their journey. All men and mer know Tamriel is the nexus of creation, where the last war will happen, where the gods unmade Lorcan and left their adamantine tower of secrets. Who knows what the Akaviri think of Tamriel? But ask yourself, why have they tried to invade it 3 times or more? There are 4 major nations of Akavir: Kamal, Zaeski, Tangmo, and Karpo Tun. When they are not busy trying to invade Tamriel, they are fighting with each other. Kamal is snow hell. Demons live there, armies of them. Every summer they thaw out and invade Tangmo. The brave monkey folk always drive them away. Once Adasum Dir Kamal, a king among demons, attempted to conquer Morrowind. Alfiq and the Underking destroyed him at Red Mountain. Tsayeshi is Snake Palace, once the strongest power in Akavir, before the Tiger Dragon killed. The serpent folk ate all the men of Akavir a long time ago, but still kind of look like them. They are tall, beautiful, if frightening, covered in golden scales, and immortal. They enslave the goblins of the surrounding isles, who provide labor and fresh blood. The holdings of Tsayeshi are widespread. When natives of Tamriel think of the Akaviri, they think of the serpent folk, because one ruled the Cyrodiilic Empire for 400 years in the previous era. He was potentate Versidue Shea, assassinated by the Morag Tong. Tangmo is the 1000th monkey isle. There are many breeds of monkey folk, and they are all kind, brave, and simple, and many are also very crazy. They can raise armies when they must, for all of the other Akaviri nations have, at one time or another, tried to enslave them. They cannot decide who they hate more, the snakes or the demons, but ask one, and he will probably say, snakes. Though once bitter enemies, the monkey folk are now allies with the tiger folk of Karpo Tun. Karpo Tun is the tiger dragon's empire. The cat folk here are ruled by the divine Tosh Raka, the tiger dragon. They are now a very great empire, stronger than Tsaeski, though not at sea. After the serpent folk ate all the men, they tried to eat all the dragons. They managed to enslave the red dragons, but the black ones had fled to, then, Potun. A great war was raged, which left both the cats and the snakes weak, and the dragons all dead. Since that time, the catfolk have tried to become the dragons. Toshraka is the first to succeed. He is the largest dragon in the world, orange and black, and he has very many new ideas. First, Toshraka says, is that we kill all the vampire snakes. Then the Tiger Dragon Emperor wants to invade Tamriel.
This is amazing. She flew halfway across the world. That's the coolest thing. Wow. Magical books read themselves to her. Okay, this is the Mage's Hall in Sadrith Mora. My teleport ring will have a direct port to exactly right here. So I will be using that ring. This is a Mage's Guild. I am able to rest here. So, after flying across ash storms, we can get a bath. And a nap. And a meal. I can also steal a lot of stuff here, which is, of course, nice. I'm a member of the guild, so I can take all of the gems and books.
Hello, Outlander. I hope you won't take too much of my time.
I can take some of the stuff that is not marked for theft.
Be well, traveler. I'm at your service. Are you here for duties or advancement?
I may have duties for you later, Nandine. Right now, I'm busy making a detect creatures potion for Edwina and Aldrune. So, Aldrune is the second hub for Mage's Guild, but I'm probably going to be going to Old Ebonheart for their starting stuff, because that's essentially a level 1 area, which I still am. People on Azura's coast have been complaining to the temple of having a dream where they're standing on a lake of fire. I heard a coterie of buoyant armigers were sent to investigate the Shrine of Azura due east of Molagmar, though I don't know what the Daedric Prince of Dawn and Dusk has to do with people dreaming they're in a vat of lava. I believe that's the Lithandonia mod, which is an area expansion. I will not be doing that until later. I can't train or barter with him until I'm a higher rank.
Do you want something from me? The same to you. Welcome to Sadrith Mora and House Telvanni country. What brings you to the island? Are you planning to visit some specific place here? Or is there anything else I can help you with?
I think he's marked as quest for, a quest I'm not really doing yet. It's modded, and I'll get to it later.
Do you need something?
I need...
Warm greetings, Outlander.
If I can afford
Care
it.
to peruse my spells?
She is the only person that sells Fury.
And good day to you. I'm Yuleni Hellerin. I assume you're new to Sadrith Mora, since we've never spoken before. I know most everyone in town. Can I help you find someone in particular?
Yeah, okay, I can buy Fury. That's very good. Frenzy Humanoid means you can use a spell to essentially magically taunt someone into attacking you, which is very helpful. Okay. I need to make enchanted gear before I really get into what I want to do, but I don't have enough money. I need to go make a lot of money. So the trade-off on these mods that create constant effects is that they're going to cost tens of thousands of septims to make.
Let's hear.
So I need cash. Okay. Yeah. Macedonia, I won't be doing a lot of these until later. So, let me look at my quest log. This is main quest. This is Lithandonia. Oh, Okay. None of these are really going to make me a lot of money quickly. So, I am going to opt to pick up the threads of the beginnings of places. So I can fast travel to Vivek, and I believe from there I can go from Ebonheart to Old Ebonheart. And if I can't figure that out, I can just fly across the ocean from here to here. So I'm going to go to Vivek, which should have a boat to Ebonheart, then to Old Ebonheart, but I don't remember exactly how. I'm just going to give it a try. Mostly I fly or I port. My ring takes me directly there, but I'm going to try to show the roleplay ways of doing it. So there are boats near the temple. There we go. Okay. Boats here, and I'm going to see where they go. If one of them goes to Ebonheart, then there should be one that takes me to Old Ebonheart. If it doesn't, I'm going to fly. Sometimes I go there and the boat captain is there. Sometimes she isn't. She's a red guard. If she isn't there, then I'm going to assume that it's gated by level. Wow. Beautiful. Look at that. Ah! Thank you, shader makers. Okay. Ah. I traveled onto a boat. Okay. So we're going to speak to these captains, see where they go. I'm going to do a little bit of running around the world. Ooh, there's one more cheaty item. Several cheaty items I forgot.
Citizen.
Okay. Yeah, I have one more serious cheaty item to go. Well, it will give me 3 massively cheaty items.
For me, citizen?
It's in Solstheim. I do know how to get there, and it will still be using vanilla mechanics to do that.
Citizen.
Where are the boat captains?
Where is that snake?
Alright.
Citizen.
As you can tell, Vivek is a bit laggy. You know, I'm not seeing the boat captains. I'm gonna see if there are any more likely places to be able to take a boat. Nope. Okay, there's a boat here. Let me see if this is the one. You know, I'm learning the vanilla ways of doing things. When I was testing everything, I just mostly ported, fast traveled.
Yes, madame, what is it?
Oh wow, yes, I can go straight to Old Ebonheart docks from here. Let me see exactly where I am before I forget immediately. I am at St. Dellen's Canton. Okay. Good. So, Even at level 1, you can go straight to Old Ebonheart, which is fantastic. So this will be the Project Tamriel, Project Cyrodiil, expansion mods. Old Ebonheart is a massive starting hub for level 1 quests.
Oh. Say your piece or stand aside.
I mean, it's huge. Look at this. It's huge. It's a bit overwhelming. So what I'm going to do first is just deliver the letter as requested. Probably join the East Empire Company here and pick up a few starter quests to do. And then I'm gonna go get my cheaty item, cause yeah. So travel here takes time. I just had a nap, but I need a bath and sleep again. So that's why fast travel I have set to immediate, instantaneous. Otherwise, yeah, with a lot of travel, you're constantly exhausted. Okay. Mage's supplies. I can go deliver the letter to Arian.
I'm listening, please. Go ahead.
I don't think we've been introduced, traveler. I am Bribane Arian. How can I help you? I have a letter for you. You say you have a letter for me from Ajira? Let me see it. Bribane reads the letter. Oh, this is great news, Nandine. Ajira has been trying to get that promotion for a while. I'm glad to hear she's finally made it. Thank you for bringing me her letter. Here, take these potions for your trouble. Old Ebonheart is the largest Imperial city in Morrowind. It's an important trade hub and a haven for Imperial citizens and settlers. The landmark of the city is the Ebon Tower, which serves as the seat of the offices of the provincial government and the headquarters of the Imperial Legion. I'm Bribane Arian, Battle Mage and Warlock of the Mages Guild. Ebon Tower is one of the first buildings constructed after the Indorel burned Ebonheart to the ground. The castle layout was meant to mimic the Imperial City. Mount Aris, the volcano to the east, has been more active lately. Sometimes it spews ash as far as Old Ebonheart. Buy a spell of every type that you can find. This will give you the best options later when you're creating your own custom spells. Be careful before you get into bed with a particular faction. There's usually a competitor or ideological opposite to any one house or guild, so find out who your new enemies will be before you pledge your allegiance. The two criminal guilds here are the Komonotong, the native criminal syndicate, and the Thieves Guild, the imperial newcomers. The Thieves Guild is fighting for its life against the ruthless and well-established Komonotong. I'm a battle mage. Though arrayed as a Western knight with heavy armor, axes, and long blades, my primary training is in the College of Alteration, the College of Destruction, and the College of Conjuration. To round out my education, I have mastered enchantments and alchemy. Potions made through alchemy or purchased from alchemists grant me the magics of the Restoration, mysticism, and illusion colleges. Can there be any more terrible master of the science of war than a battle mage? I think not. Okay, she does not give duties.
Happy to help. What's your problem?
Someone in the basement does. All of this stuff is marked for theft.
I have the finest spells
alas,
in town.
all the beautiful books and the beautiful items. Old Ebonheart is beautiful, but not generous. Oh, it's dark down here.
Top quality potions right here.
I don't think we've been introduced, traveler. I'm Elfia Taraman. How can I help you? I'm Elfia Taraman, an apprentice in the Mages Guild. I recently moved here to Old Ebonheart to practice my alchemy and study unique Morrowind ingredients. I'm afraid my potions are no match for Nerusia's, the other alchemist in town, but I can give you a Mage's Guild discount. I think I might have something you can do. I've been experimenting with some alchemical ingredients that you can only find in the mainland of Morrowind, and I've run out of them. And I've run out of 3 of them. You could help replenish my stores. I've run out of Hammond roots, Ornata eggs, and amethysts. If you could bring me back 1 Hammond root, 2 Ornata eggs, and 1 amethyst, I should be set until Archibald can order more through his own connections. Okay, I know amethyst can be found outside of Morrowind, but it's still important. I get 1. Have you tried a pawn shop or jeweler's? I guess you could also find them as offerings to the Dunmer ancestral tombs, but don't tell anyone I said that. The native brandy is called Grief. Like Shane, it's made from conberries, not grapes. Hammond root you can find in any Hammond plant in the mainland of Morrowind, though you can usually find them growing north of Devonus. I hear there's a more local farmer to the east of here who's planted a row. If you're very polite, you could possibly take some samples from her crops. The barristers over at Marsh and Elarian are up to their ears in legal work. They may be willing to let a member of the Barristers Guild help their law office if that somebody is good with them. Worn-out weapons and armor work poorly. Repair them yourself if you have the skill, or take them to a smith for repair. Levitation potions can be produced from the trauma root, racer plumes, and coda flowers. A thick, bitter-tasting root of the trauma shrub grows in the Ashlands, Molag Amor, and Red Mountain regions in Vardenfell. Racer plumes are plucked from dead cliff racers. Coda flowers are collected from the Draggletail plant, which blooms in swampland. Mazte is a Morrowind beer made from salt rice. I'm told it's more common the further south you go, being that salt rice isn't one of the major exports of Great House Drez. Most Dunmer belonging to House Drez aren't exactly friendly enough for me to get up and ask for some, though. Devonus is a little village in the Sundered Scar. I wouldn't recommend going that far east unless you have some good reason. Folk out there don't take kindly to tourists. Ornata eggs are insect-like creatures found only in the mainland of Morrowind. Although the queens carry the eggs and can be quite rare, you might be better off shopping at some of the local alchemists or publicans to find the eggs. It seems Shane seems the only wine they have in Morrowind made out of conberries. I want to see how it compares to the grape wine in Cyrodiil. Sujama is supposed to be very potent, but I'm not sure what it's made of. Perhaps one of the local roots? In case you didn't know, weapons and armor are less effective when they get worn out. Repair them yourself, or if you have the skill, take them to a smith for repair. Okay, some of the Morrowind lore is repetitive, clearly. If I know I've read it recently, I will not read it. Okay, so we have a quest on this continent. That's good. So I'm going to leave here, go back to Balmora and see, I believe, if I can get a little bit further north from here. I want to go to Solstheim and in Thirsk, which is, it's in the Skyrim Dragonborn expansion. It's here. Okay, I'm a little tired. I'm gonna run up here and take a nap.
Speak quickly.
So the Thirsk Mead Hall is available in this game, and also you can revisit it in Skyrim. And in this case, right behind Thirsk is a hollowed out tree stump with some awesome things. And really the fastest way for me to make a bunch of money is to trigger the Astrologians Guild quests and go through the beginning of that line. So I think that will be my next step. I'm not really sure how long it takes these merchants to restock. So I'm going to make a little run, see if there's more tea.
Say what you want or go away.
Wow, and I thought we were friends. Okay, it's got more tea. Teacup. I've lost a bunch of faction with him, so we're not buddies right now. Makes me a little sad. Wanted to be friends. Let's see if she's got a basin.
Go ahead. Yes, can I help you?
Yes, you have a basin. Let's be buddies. Okay, so the more of these that I'm able to get, the more I will be able to put into my own homes and not have to visit bathhouses. I'm also gonna get a few more teapots. Okay, great. So this means I'll be able to put down teapots and basins in the homes the more that I get, so that's, well, more homey, more convenient than just carrying them around with me.
If I don't have it in stock, it doesn't exist.
That's not
what
true,
can I
man.
do for you?
You're a liar. No, it doesn't have basins, and I think I have enough. Oh, I'll just, you know, I like collecting teapots. Why not? Okay. Check one more vendor, and then we are off to Cool, and then Solstheim.
Ravir knows why you are here. You want to buy Ravir's famous Daedric weapons.
Alright. So we need to get north, up to Cool, where I can take a boat to Solstheim. Now, let's see if it can take me to Nisus. I think so. It might be easier to go to Vivek and try to find a boat that would take me to Cool, but if I get to Nisus, I can levitate.
Where would you like to go?
Ooh. Aldrun is a little further north. So I'll see where the Aldrun Caravaneer will take me.
Why walk when you can ride?
Cool. Ha, 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 and I don't have enough money. Alrighty. I bought too much tea. What do I have that I can sell? I can sell my spark sword. I'm gonna need a little more money than that, because alrighty. Okay, I'm gonna go to the mud crab. Sell my sword and maybe some other stuff. I bought too many teapots. Might have to sell some teapots. Make me sad, I'll buy them back later. I'm a little too enthusiastic about my tea habit. Spark sword, longbow. Let's see if I picked up any gems I can sell. Yeah. Tell you what, I'm gonna make some potions and sell them. This mod is fantastic. Another OpenMW amazing thing. So it's going to sort for known. So these are all the things that can restore health. I'm gonna use those up first and make restore health potions. Restore magicka. I will be doing this throughout the game and then selling the potions. It's an insanely profitable way to make money, particularly if you're using a full set of Grandmaster gear. Potions sell very well. This is why I specialize in alchemy. So I will come away with this with a lot more money than I had. So I will be doing this and then, you know, occasionally selling the potions. So if I have a lot more money than I did, you've just missed me because I've edited out a lot of... This is another beautiful thing. I can add in multiples, so I can make 100 potions at once. So I'll be editing out further on in this session, and then I'll be editing out for future sessions, but this is how it works. Alright, I'll be able to take a nice swim here. And I was able to make 5,000 gold from making potions and selling them, and selling off all the potions that I have gotten from my rewards. Wait a minute, I should be able to sell some scrolls too. I got a few scrolls. I don't really use scrolls, so all the ones that I've looted, I should be able to sell. Okay. I've got a nice bit of cash. Now yes, I am aware that I'm doing the equivalent of glamping. You know, this isn't the official Morrowind experience, and that's fine. There are lots of people playing the official Morrowind experience. This is my customized, role-played Morrowind experience where I pick and choose. And as for paying dues, I have put thousands of hours into the Elder Scrolls experience. So I have experienced all of these hardships in the vanilla sense because I played all of these games before they could even be modded. So I don't feel bad about this.
We make a special trip just for you. Same low price.
Oh, okay, back to Eldrune. I should have fast traveled because I'm going to be tired as soon as I get there. And then to cool.
Why walk when you can ride?
Why ride when you can fast travel, but... Cool. Cool. Okay, I also have a mod. I have enough money to go get it now, and it's going to be a bit of a convenience. Where I can, buy a tent from someone, an Ashlander tent, which is a lovely...
Why walk when you can ride?
A lovely roleplay thing where I can just put down a tent and take a nap in it when I want to. I'll have to... That's in Suran. I'll have to go back and get it later. Right now, I'm going to take a boat to Solstheim. Beautiful sunny day. Now, Solstheim is a little dicey with the survival mod. I will be risking freezing to death since I'm not wearing good gear. But we're gonna book it. Because these items are awesome. Okay. Alright, I'm already tired. This is going to be a long journey. But I'm going to pick up the starter Solstheim quests and pick up the starter Tomb of the Snow Prince quests. So I have reminders in my quest log to go back to these areas. And I'm going to get my cheaty thing.
Hurry! Last boat to Solstheim.
So this is the introduction to Tomb of the Snow Prince. Visit Loken Island, the ultimate destination for your hunting expedition. As chieftain of Loken Island, it's my pleasure to welcome paying guests to my splendid forests. Acres of beautiful landscapes teeming with wild bears and wolves. Experience the danger of the hunt and the thrill of the kill. Relish the power as you stare into the terrified eyes of your quarry. Spend the evenings relaxing in Loken's main hall, the ideal place for the tired hunter to relax, sample Loken hospitality, and, of course, our local mead. Passage to Loken can be arranged through Shipmaster Helmer at Fort Frostmoth Docks. Please note, all visitors must report on arrival to the throne room at Loken Castle. Ragnar Firehair, chieftain of Loken, provider of excellent hunting for valued, paying customers.
Greetings. Are you in need of transport? Severe will gladly take you to Fort Frostmoth in Solstheim for a small fee.
Okay, so this is the Solstheim expansion. I believe in my mod list I have a mod that normalizes a lot. I can't really do the high level Solstheim stuff, but it's normalized it so it isn't like level 30. I should be able to start here and do a few quests. Same with Tomb of the Snow Prince. And if not, I'll try it. If I die, I will try again later. But this way, it's in my quest log, and I won't forget this stuff is here.
Outlander.
Welcome to Solstheim, jewel of absolutely nowhere. It's a miserable place, even for the warm bloods. If you want to leave, I'd be happy to take you back to Vvardenfell. If you feel you must stay, speak with Captain Falx Carius in his chambers at Fort Frostmoth. Captain Carius is the commander here. Not a bad man, but he is a fool for remaining in this place. So cold, so cold. If you are here about the colony, Carnius Magius is the man you will speak to. Find him at the Imperial Cult Shrine. The captain of this fort can be found within its walls. Ask his soldiers where to find him. Go if you wish. I will gladly wait here to make the voyage back to Vvardenfell.
Okay.
What say you?
Okay,
So I'm not really going to linger here long. And I'm actually not going to pick up the starting quest. I'm going to get the port point, and then I'm going to come back here later after, because Unfortunately, procedurally, it adds about 1,000 markers to your map that are unnecessary to me right now. We will be coming back. Right now, I'll just be able to port in by my rules, but right now I'm gonna take a boat to Lochen.
I don't know you. What do you want?
This is the Tomb of the Snow Prince, and it is conveniently close to Thirsk, so I'm just going to levitate toward it. I'm not really going to be doing a ton of the content immediately, but I will pick up one quick starter quest, so it's in my quest log. Welcome to Lochen, stranger. Before you do anything else, you should go to the castle and talk to our chieftain, Ragnar Firehair. Without his permission, you're not allowed to be here. Alright, so what I'm actually going to do is pick up a little quest from this lady here. It's a very simple quest, I'm not going to finish it. But what I'm going to do is start doing like a cycle of starter areas. I'll do a little bit in Balmora, then a little bit in Old Ebonheart, then a little bit here, something like that. Okay, so we have her starter quest, her missing glove. It's right there, but I'm not going to pick it up. Instead, see, right here it says it's -8 degrees. That's very cold. I don't want to die. So I'm going to head to Thirsk, across the way, pick up my items, and then get the hell out of Dodge. Freezing Dodge. Arizona's pretty warm, this place isn't. Dodge was in Arizona, right? Tucson? Okay, Corral. So I am cold. You can be warmer with different gear. I want to make sure I'm headed this right way. Yeah, that's Thirsk right there. I can be warmer once I get actual armor. But right now I'm really only wearing the Savior's hide and a bunch of cloth. I would need like ebony, very warm stuff to survive here, and as a light armor wearer, I'm not going to have good protection until I make some items that give me, wisely, Frost Shield and Fire Shield, which will protect me from certain types of damage. Okay, these are beautiful. Ring of the Raven Eye, Shadow Sting, Ebony Arrow, Slaying, Deceit, and Treachery, and a Bloodstained Note. These are some of my favorite things. Alright, let's check them out. So, the Bloodstained Note says, and this is all vanilla. Here's the equipment I told you about. Remember, the weak deserve no mercy. From S to E. I don't know what that means. I haven't really played Solstheim much. It's a little high level, and also, it's fucking freezing. Alright. Ring of the Raven Eye. Constant effect, Fortify Marksman 20 points, Night Eye 20 points. Incredibly valuable. A glove. Fortify Sneak 20 points. Incredibly valuable. Treachery. Constant effect, Fortify Security 20 points. Incredibly valuable. So I'm going to be wearing those pretty much until I get the Fists of Randagulf, which is a lot further in the main quest than I'm going to be anytime soon. Okay. Shadow Sting. Longblade one-handed. Poison 3 points on target. Chameleon 200 points to 100 for 20 seconds. On target, which makes no sense. Why would you make your opponent invisible? So I will be selling that, but it's worth 5,000 gold on its own. And that is a good thing. Okay. Alright, we've got a lot of money for newbies. And I am going to get out of here. I'm going to go to the Balmora Mages Guild and start see if I can afford some enchantments. Some of the first things that I should get is an item. See, you can see the screen like frosting on the outside. Very cold. Alright. Hopefully I can warm up here. Alright, mission accomplished. I believe I have all of my cheaty conveniences, and beyond this I start just building my gear set. I'm gonna warm up in bed. Well, no, I'm gonna eat a meal. It actually matters. If you go to sleep hungry, your sleep will not be as restful. So. Eat. And there's this little arrow, so it's gonna... The cold bites deep, your limbs stiffen, and you feel vulnerable. I've got a lot of debuffs. So I need to rest and get to normal temperature. And now I'm comfortable. So we're good. Eat another meal. And my kitty is always with me. I love you so much. You are so not buggy. Yes, you are so not buggy. Alright.
I have the finest.
Probably not going to be able to afford it even with this amount of money, but I'm going to see. I'm going to get an item made with Detect Enchantment.
How may I help you?
I don't even know if I have a single charged soul gem to my name. I might need to buy some.
Step right up, Outlander, and look over my collection of scrolls.
Not.
How about the flashy and cheap Taldum Scorcher to burn your foes? Or Ondusi's Unhinging to open stuck chests and doors? If you're going somewhere dangerous, try some scrolls of vitality and vigor to restore your health and fatigue. If you're in real trouble, you'll want Almsivi Intervention or Divine Intervention to transport you instantly to the nearest temple or nearest Imperial Shrine.
Okay, so I have a mod to create constant effects myself. Detect Enchantment is huge. Thankfully, it's also relatively cheap, but you can see it's already costing $1,000 to make this. So I'm going to do Detect Enchantment and Detect Key. Detect Enchantment out to 100 feet so you can see a lot of Detect Enchantment items, and Detect Key to a closer range so that you can see keys close to yourself. So All Seer is the name of the robe. Let me see if I can get some Detect Key on here. Good, yes, okay, that's kind of cheap. And let's see, what else do I have? That's pretty good. Alright, I'm gonna have 90% resistance to common disease, which is kind of a big deal. Particularly early in the game, you just get sick so much. Alright, so this is gonna cost 2,000 gold. It's gonna be expensive, but this will have massive utility. And yes, I mean, there's no question, it's a cheat. But too bad. Okay. And the next thing I'm going to see if I can afford is water breathing.
Are you here for scrolls, Outlander? Or are you here from some other enchantments, or even soul gems? Whatever your enchanting needs, you've come to the right place.
Alright. Let's see, what's my highest? Let's see if I can do constant effect water breathing. Oh, that's perfect. No, it's a shirt, so life vest it is. Okay, another 2,000 gold, but this will give me so much clear utility out in the world. So I am now well buffed. I have a light source that is constant, but not too bright. So as you can see, my environment hasn't much changed, but Night Eye is going to help me light up areas that are darker without washing out the world that I'm in. It's a little low because I don't, again, want to destroy the lighting in reality. I just want to be able to see essentially in the dark. That's great. Okay, I've got a little bit more. Let's see what spells I have. I've got quite a bit. I don't give myself permanent levitate items. I'm gonna see if...
Are you here for scrolls, Outlander?
These
or are you
really
here from some other
expensive.
enchantments? Or even soul gems? Whatever your enchanting needs, you've come to the right place.
But I'll see if I can make one. I do have an expensive amulet. I did not buy any summon spells. So, I'll have to do that later after I buy some spells. Often I do have like a mod where I could just load all the spell effects, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to buy them. Let me see if I can buy a very simple summon from someone. I probably don't have enough cash to accomplish this.
What is your business? What? Are you deaf? No interruptions, I can't think.
Something like a scamp or an ancestor ghost would be great. Something
I have the
small.
finest spells in town.
Good to see you again. Please, whenever you're in Balmora, feel free to stop
summon
by.
scamp
Now,
is
what can I
pretty
do
good.
for you?
Now I can put a constant effect of summon creature on an item, which I can take on and off. There are a couple of really good practical reasons to do that. Let me see if I can do it. I doubt it.
My finest... Are you here for scrolls, Outlander? Or are you here from some
It's
other
very
enchantments?
expensive.
Or even soul gems? Whatever your enchanting needs, you've come to the right place.
Oh, not bad. 55 points out of 45. Okay, let's see if I can change the item. No, everything else is going to be lesser than that. I don't have any really good items. Okay, I am not going to be able to buy it yet. I'm going to save up some money and get some better items and buy some better clothes. But the reason why I have to do this is I have played this game mostly where I summon my own creatures, but OpenMW has a serious issue with graphics. I mean, you saw me chop down a tree and it just lit the entire screen gold and lagged me. And that's what every summon will do. It will eventually just choke my game to death, particularly as they get more extravagant, to the point that trying to summon a golden saint will just practically lock me up for like 7 seconds. It's not worth it. I'm going to make very expensive items that I can put on and off so that I can have a permanent summon and I don't have to risk crashing my game. It's absolutely an OpenMW thing, and maybe they'll fix it later, but right now this is my modded workaround.
Your actions precede you, Outlander.
Okay, that's a good day's work. Good 4 days work, or whatever it is with all the added travel time. Okay, I'm going to call back home. See if I can do a little more cooking. I might be able to brew some more tea. purify my water. See, I got some salt from that, which will be an alchemy ingredient. Okay, I can't make any more tea, but I can cook some more food. So I used up a lot of my components in alchemy. But I can still cook. Alchemy getting up there, I'm at 44. I will take a nap. Put away some of the books that we read today. Cherish our new gear and our new companion, who's the best in the world. Hello, yeah. She doesn't mind that I talk baby talk. She talks baby talk back to me. It's okay. We both did not have terribly loving childhoods. Okay, we read a short history of Morrowind. We read it. No, I need to keep brief history. Read history of a skooma eater. Invocation of Azura, Magical Breakthrough, Mysterious Akavir. We did a lot of reading today. Don't need the tax record anymore. These I can read later. Cool. All is well. See, I'm underwater, and my constant effect item has kept me from nearly dying. Beautiful thing. Have some breakfast. Have some water by the lovely garden. I'm not going to harvest it. I'm just going to let it be lovely. So thank you for joining Nandine and I on our glamping today. And we'll contemplate tomorrow.